Today we're going to be doing an oil change on a 2001 Mitsubishi Mirage. It's a 1.5 litre. Here are the tools and equipment you will need. First, a 17mm socket with a ratchet, safety glasses, you'll need a sump plug gasket, a new oil filter. I've got 10 watt 40 motor oil and a bucket, and also a glove so I don't get oil all over my hands. So first step will be to undo this oil cap. Once we undo the oil cap, we will then come to the bottom of the car. So there's your sump, and we are going to be undoing that bolt to drain the oil. And right next to the sump is the oil filter, so that will also be replaced today as well. Alright, so once you've got all your tools ready, first step is to undo this cap. That just relieves the pressure. You can just leave it sitting on top. Alright, so once you're ready, make sure you've got your bucket, your glove, so you don't get oil all over your hands. Grab your 17mm socket and ratchet, and we're just going to break the bolt. So just one little, and place the bucket, maintaining pressure, pushing in towards the bolt so that we don't make an absolute huge mess.
Okay, let that drain out.
In the meantime, while that's draining, let's take off this gasket and put a new one on. Alright, we finally got this gasket off. It was a pain in the ass. I did have to tin snip it. Anyways, here's your sump plug. We're going to put the new washer just on top like that, so it's all ready. Now before we put that sump plug back on, I like to clean the surrounding areas. We will wait for this to finish dripping, and then we will clean it up, put that sump plug back on with the new gasket, make sure it's pretty tight, not too tight. We do not want to strip the bolt. And then we will get to the filter. Alright, next on the list is the oil filter, which is this here. We've just done the plug, the new plug and the new gasket are on, and we've cleaned around it. Now we've got to take this off and replace it with a new filter. So we're going to remove it with our hand. Alright, now for our oil filter, we've got a Westville oil filter. It's a WZ411, and then for our oil we've got a 10 watt 40. Alright, so once you've opened it, we're going to take off this clear plastic, and I like to use the new oil, so we're going to get a little bit of the new oil on our finger and just go around that rubber seal, so when we go to tighten it, it doesn't actually kink or move around. It just slips on nice and free and seals it nicely. We have a little bit of motor oil. We're just going to put a little bit around that rubber seal. Now that the new oil filter is on, make sure it is hand tight so that you can get it off later on. So the new sump plug's on, new oil filter's on. Let's add in the new oil now. Alright, so if you come back to the top of the engine bay, remove the oil cap, and we will put a funnel in there ready to fill it up. Now on most bottles you'll have markings. This is a 5 litre bottle. Got some markings, so we'll follow those when filling it up. This motor takes 3.3 litres worth of oil, so we will fill it up according to that. Once you're finished topping up your oil, put the cap on and then start it, let it run and check for any leaks. So we're going to let it mix around for a bit, let all the oil get into all the places. Check your oil level. By doing this you need paper towel, and we'll just pull out the dipstick, give it an initial wipe, put it back in for a couple of seconds, pull it back out, and your oil level should sit just in between those two nibs. In my scenario, mine's just above, which is all right. As you drive it more and more, you may need to top it up, or depending on how much you put in. And always check for any leaks after doing an oil change. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Look at this boost. Some new oil, a new blue filter somewhere down there. Beautiful. No leaks. So we are pretty hectic. And there's the new blue filter. Beautiful. Anyone want some chocolate milk? Also, this is a 2-litre bottle, supposedly. So yeah. Alright, so once you're under the car, you're going to want to have your eyeglasses on and gloves on, because it is going to get a little bit messy if... Now before I put the plug back on, we're going to wait for this to finish blah blah blah. Check your oil level, take out the dipstick,